Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mufasa's book readings. My name is Julia, and your reader for today is Mpo. She'll be reading The Fifth Habit, which is titled "Seek First to Understand, Then to Be Understood." Enjoy.
Principles of empathic communication. The heart has its reasons, which reason knows not of. Pascal. Suppose you've been having trouble with your eyes and you decide to go to an optometrist for help. After briefly listening to your complaint, he takes off his glasses and hands them to you. Put these on, he says. I've worn this pair of glasses for 10 years now, and they've really helped me. I have an extra pair at home. You can wear these. So you put them on, but it only makes the problem worse. This is terrible, you exclaim. I can't see a thing. Well, what's wrong? He asks. They work great for me. Try harder. I am trying, you insist. Everything is a blur. Well, what's the matter with you? Think positively. Okay, I positively can't see a thing. Boy, are you ungrateful, he chides. And after all I've done to help you, what are the chances you'd go back to that optometrist the next time you needed help? Not very good, I would imagine. You don't have much confidence in someone who doesn't diagnose before he or she prescribes. But how often do we diagnose before we prescribe in communication? Come on, honey, tell me how you feel. I know it's hard, but I'll try to understand. Oh, I don't know, Mom. You'd think it was stupid. Of course I wouldn't. You can tell me. Honey, no one cares for you as much as I do. I'm only interested in your welfare. What's making you so unhappy? Oh, I don't know. Come on, honey, what is it? Well, to tell you the truth, I just don't feel like school. I just don't like school anymore. What? You respond incredulously. What do you mean you don't like school? And after all the sacrifices we've made for your education is the foundation of your future. If you'd apply yourself like your older sister does, you'd do better and then you'd like school. Time and time again, we've told you to settle down. You've got the ability, but you just don't apply yourself. Try harder, get a positive attitude about it. Pause. Now, go ahead. Tell me how you feel. We have such a tendency to rush in, to fix things up with good advice, but we often fail to take the time to diagnose, to really deeply understand the problem first. If I were to summarize in one sentence the single most important principle I have learned in the field of interpersonal relationships, it would be this. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. This principle is the key to effective interpersonal communication. Character and communication. Right now, you're reading a book I've written. Well, you're listening to the book he's written. Reading and writing are both forms of communication. So are speaking and listening. In fact, those are the four basic types of communication. And think of all the hours you spend doing at least one of these four. The ability to do them well is absolutely critical to your effectiveness. Communication is the most important skill in life. We spend most of our waking hours communicating. But consider this. You spend years learning how to read and write, years learning how to speak. But what about listening? What training or education have you had that enables you to listen so that you really deeply understand another human being from that individual's own frame of reference? Comparatively, few people have had training in listening at all. And for the most part, their training has been in the personality ethic of technique, truncated from the from the character base and the relationship base absolutely vital to authentic understanding of another person. If you want to interact effectively with me, to influence me, your spouse, your child, your neighbor, your boss, your coworker, your friend, you first need to understand me. And you can't do that with technique alone. If I sense you're using some technique, I sense duplicity, manipulation. I wonder why you're doing it. What motives are there? And I don't feel safe enough to open myself up to you. The real key to your influence with me is your example, your actual conduct. Your example flows naturally out of your character or the kind of person you truly are, not what others say you are or what you may think you want me to think you are. It is evident in how I actually experience you. Your character is constantly radiating, communicating. From it, in the long run, I come to instinctively trust or distrust you and your efforts with me. If your life runs hot and cold, if you're both acoustic and kind, and above all, if your private performance doesn't square with your public performance, it's very hard for me to open up with you. Then as much as I may want and even need to receive your love and influence, I don't feel safe enough to expose my opinions and experiences and my tender feelings. Who knows what will happen? But unless I open up with you, unless you understand me and my unique situation and feelings, you won't know how to advise or counsel me. What you say is good and fine, but it doesn't quite pertain to me. You may say you care about and appreciate me. I desperately want to believe that, but how can you appreciate me when you don't even understand me? All I have are your words, and I can't trust your words. I'm too angry and defensive, perhaps too guilty and afraid to be influenced, even though inside I know I need what could tell me. I need what you could tell me. Unless you're influenced by my uniqueness, I'm not going to be influenced by your advice. So if you want to be really effective in the habit of interpersonal communication, you cannot do it with technique alone. You have to build the skills of empathic listening on a base of character that inspires openness and trust. And you have to build the emotional bank accounts that creates a commerce between hearts. Empathic listening. Seek first to understand involves a very deep shift in paradigm. We typically seek first to be understood. Most people do not listen with the intent to listen. They listen with the intent to reply. They're either speaking or preparing to speak. They're filtering everything through their own paradigms, reading their autobiography into other people's lives. Oh, I know exactly how you feel. I went through the very same thing. Let me tell you about my experience. They're constantly projecting their own home movies onto other people's behavior. They prescribe their own classes for everyone with whom they interact. If they have a problem with a person, a son, a daughter, a spouse, an employee, their attitude is that person just doesn't understand. A father once told me, I can't understand my kid. He just won't listen to me at all. Let me restate what you said. I said, you don't understand your son because he won't listen to you. That's right, he replied. Let me try again, I said. You don't understand your son because he won't listen to you. That's what I said, he impatiently replied. I thought that to understand another person, you need to listen to him, I suggested. Oh, he said. There was a long pause. Oh, he said again, as the lights began to dawn. Oh, yeah, but I do understand him. I know what he's going through. I went through the same thing myself. I guess what I don't understand is why he won't listen to me. This man didn't have the vaguest idea of what was really going on inside his boy's head. He looked into his own head and thought he saw the world, including his boy. That's the case with so many of us. We're filled with our own rightness, our own autobiography. We want to be understood. Our conversations become collective monologues, and we never really understand what's going on inside another human being. And that is where the reading will end today.
Thank you so much for tuning in today to today's reading. I think a big lesson for me is the fact that it's really important for us to listen to understand rather than listening to respond, and just actually hear what the other person is saying. With that being said, I thank you for tuning into our videos. We'd really like to engage you in the comment section. So if you have any opinions, if you have any questions, you can put them in the comment section. We'd really like to engage with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into our videos. This video is available on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.